everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to make this birthday card. It's a little bit more on the masculine side, which I know I struggle with sometimes, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Today we're going to start with a piece of basic black as our base, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5. I did score it at 4 1/4. I'm just going to give it a nice crisp edge with my bone folder here. And then the next piece is a piece of Pacific Point, and it's cut at 5 1/4 by 4 by 4. And then we're just going to layer that on as a layering piece. So I'm just going to put that right on right now, get it out of my way so we're all set. Usually I like to have all of my pieces done before I start putting my cards together, but we're not using this piece again, so all right, I'm just going to put that aside. And we're going to start by making this wish right here. The two stamp sets we're going to use are birthday backgrounds, which I use a lot. It's got very cute little backgrounds. We're actually going to be using these two pieces out of it today. And then Broadway Birthday, which is another fun birthday set. So we're going to start with this wish right here. And because I wanted it really nice, dark, crisp image, I'm going to use my Stamparatus. That way, if it doesn't come out perfect the first time, I can just simply go right back over it in the same spot and don't have to worry about lining it up. So I've already put my my cardstock and my stamp on the Stamparatus. I am using the black foam insert because this is a photopolymer stamp and I needed it to have that depth to reach the plate. So I am anchored it with the two magnets, and please be careful with your magnets. You can see I have cracked one of mine because I let them come together, and that can happen. So I put the wish right in the middle here, and I'm just going to come around and pick it up with the plate. Let me just make sure that's straight first. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up with the plate, just press it on, lift it over, and let me just move that so you can see that. And then I'm just going to ink it up with my Memento black ink. And then just swing it across. We're going to give it a good push. And then I'm probably going to have to do this a couple of times. I didn't ink it up well enough or push well enough. It's still got some ink on the H there. We'll just push it. There we go. So I'm just going to come back. Like I said, I want a nice, crisp, dark image. So I'm just going to ink it up again. And because I have the Stamparatus, it goes right back in the exact same place I stamped the first time. And we're going to do it one more time. Well, maybe two more. I don't know. We'll see how this one comes out. I did it 3 on the sample, but you never know. Sometimes you push a little harder than another time. You ink it up a little better. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go one more time. But as you can see, you can do it as many times or as few as you want to get the look that you want. It's one of the things I love about the Stamparatus. All right, I think that's going to do it. Nice crisp wish, and so we're going to just take that out. I'm going to put this, I'm just going to wipe this off so I don't get it on anything else, which I'm prone to do. Cover up our ink pad, and we'll put this aside. So when you're taking the plates off, you want to just go straight up and straight down, and you don't want to store the plates in the Stamparatus when you're storing it because they can crack that way. All right, so now we're going to do some of this background detail on here, and we need the Granny Apple Green, which I forgot to pull out. There we go. So we're going to do Granny Apple Green, and we're just going to take this, it almost looks like fireworks, and I'm just going to start scattering it on the background like this. I just twist it a little so it's not the same pattern going every way, and if you overlap a little, that's fine too. Just you want to bring it right out to the edges. Just a couple of more and we will be done. Whoops. All right, let me just do one more on the bottom here. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to set that aside. And now we're going to do the candles right here on the bottom. So I have the candles all set up. And you can just go right across, but I like to do the middle one first. So I'm going to ink up the candles and get them inked pretty well because I'm not using the Stamparatus on this one, but I don't think I need to. So I'm just going to come towards the bottom of my cardstock and just press, but you don't want to press too hard and you don't want to rock it because then you can get some shadowing. So I've got the candles there. We're going to just ink it up again. And then we're just going to go off to the side. So I line it up pretty close because I don't want a big gap. That looks pretty good. Then we're just going to do the other side. Again, lining it up pretty close. There we go. Then we have our candle detail at the bottom. So now we're going to do the Maka and It's Your Birthday. And to do that, I'm just going to use Scrap Pacific Point. And let me see, I know I set those up. Here they are. When you're working in a small space, sometimes things get put underneath other things. I'm just going to line that up a little bit straighter on my block here. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the edge of the paper to give me a guide. Line that up. There's your Maka. And then I'm just going to use another edge of the paper for It's Your Birthday. Now that's a little crooked as well, so let's fix that before we stamp it. Whoops. There we go. There. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to just use a piece of the edge of the scrap again just to stamp It's Your Birthday. And that's all of our stamping. So now I'm just going to cut these two pieces out and I'm just going to eyeball it. I find sometimes if I cut a piece and then try and stamp on a small piece, I just don't make it work. So I like to cut it out myself. So this one we're going to leave a little bit extra on the ends just to give it a little flag, and it's easier to cut it across. You can see I have Granny Apple Green on my thumb. I get ink everywhere. All right. We'll cut it like that, and then I'm going to come in with my paper snips and just trim it up and get the flags on it the way I want them. So I always cut up the middle and then come in, and that just gives me a guide. It's not always an exact science, but it gives me a guide to try and make it even at least. And then this one. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to pop these up on some dimensionals. I'll do the Make A first. And let's see. We'll stick 2 dimensionals on here. And I'm going to line it up pretty close to the wish. I didn't want it too far apart, but you could even put it up here if you wanted. And then I think I need some mini dimensionals for this one. Let's just grab those off. I usually use a paper piercer for this. I have no idea where my paper piercer went. That's okay. We can do it with our fingers too. Okay. So then we're just going to make sure you're going the right way, not upside down, which I know we've all done before. Line that up and then press that in. So the last piece we need is this banner. And what I did is I already used my Big Shot and I cut this out in Lemon Lime Twist. And this is part of the Playful Pennants Framelits. And you've got, my framelits are always a mess. You've got a nice rounded one. You've got the triangle one that we've used today, a bow, and some other ones. These only cut halfway through, so if you wanted to cut into your paper and just have the, if you wanted to cut, let me show you, into your paper here and just have the flags come up, you can do that as well. It's nice and versatile. Sometimes I point off camera and I don't realize you guys can't see where I'm pointing. All right, so we're just gonna put this like this. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of snail in the triangles to tack it on. And I'm just gonna come in and situate it the way I would like it. Press it down. And then I'm just gonna come in with my scissors and just snip it right off. So we don't need the extra. You could actually make the design go across or have two come down. I just like the way this one looked today. So I'm just gonna take this piece that we finished, put some more snail on, and adhere it to our base. So it's a pretty quick and easy card. It's great for a guy or a girl, and I hope you enjoyed it. All of my links will be listed down below, and if you're not already working with the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love a chance to work with you. Thanks so much for watching.